Hello everyone, welcome to TravClan's webinar. This is Tarang Mohin, your host for the day, and we have with us Ms Shriya Vidwans from Atout France, the France Tourism Development Authority, and we have an interesting and a very exciting presentation about France for you guys today. But this is not the only thing that is making this webinar interesting. We have a very interesting France destination quiz also in this webinar at the end of this webinar. So I would request each and every participant to listen to the presentation very carefully because we'll put up a quiz and top three lucky winners will get a chance to win TravClan freebies. The first person to win the quiz will get the completely free subscription for 2 years for TravClan powered website and CRM. The second will get the subscription free for 1 year, and the third person will get a discount of 50%. So I am very excited for this presentation. Hi Shreya, how are you? Please introduce yourself.
Hi Tarang, a very good afternoon and bonjour to everyone, as they say in French. I hope that you're all doing well and taking care of yourselves and of course of your loved ones, spending quality time that we rarely get, and also using this time constructively to attend sessions like these. So a big thank you for firstly being here present for the session today. Um, I've been working with Atout France for the past 3 years, a little more than 3 years, and I would like to thank TravClan for this opportunity, for giving us access to such a great platform to be sharing insights on France with you. So I'm very excited, and if you allow, without any further ado, I will share my screen, Tarang, and we can get going.
Yes, please.
Super. Great. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, it's visible.
I'm going to start a slideshow. So while we are all in this situation that's very helpless, we thought, and when we can't travel to France or we can't have our clients go to France, we thought of bringing France to you. So today we are going to acquaint you with our hallmark destinations. So now these destinations are brands in themselves that have a huge recall value in the minds of travelers around the globe. So as Atout France, we have identified certain destinations and we will go on a tour of these destinations. And I hope you like it. Now find, you will watch a video um, uh, which will take you through all these hallmark destinations virtually in a glimpse, and I hope you like it. Now that was a sneak peek into France. I hope you enjoyed it, and now we are inviting you on a tour of the most visited country in the world, that is France, through our unique art de vivre or art of living. We invite you to explore France through our rich culture and heritage with our monuments, museums, and sites that are classified on the UNESCO World Heritage List. We also invite you and your clients, of course, to indulge in French gastronomy. So, if you, a French gastronomic meal is added to the UNESCO Intangible Heritage of Humanity since November 2010. And we invite you to discover this diverse world of gastronomy through the distinct types of cheese that you can see. There are almost 365 types of cheese that you can try, so one every single day literally. And of course our explore the art of winemaking and say santé with French wines and champagne through the presentation. France also offers gourmet meals through its treasure of Michelin-starred restaurants uh, that are spread through all over France, with around 616 of them for you to try. And by we know the urge that your clients and yourself also indulge or experiment or try French cuisine when you are in France. We also understand that for Indian travelers, Indian food or vegetarian food is an important prerequisite while they're planning an itinerary. And I'm happy to share that France has very efficiently embraced this concept of vegetarian food and Indian food as well, because you'll find a lot of Indian restaurants all over France and several caterers as well, catering to events or at attractions like the cabarets or the Seine River cruise that we'll see along the presentation. So uh, we're ready, I would say, with vegetarian food options. Even if it's not Indian food, you can also try vegetarian French food options at these, outlets in France, like Chez Clément or Paradis du Fruit. And I think now the trend is going to change towards more healthy options as well. So you have those options also available in France, like XK. Another aspect that we thought was very important, of course, and features on every traveler's checklist is shopping. So we'd like you to include a visit to this amazing shopping outlet called La Vallée Village, which is just one stop away from Disneyland, Paris, and it has attractive discounts throughout the year. It's not that it's only during sale period; it is throughout the year. And the bonus is that visitors can avail of a VAT refund if you shop for more than 175 euros worth of goods. So there's the discount at La Vallée Village plus the VAT refund. Other than that, if you'd like to shop in the city of Paris, you have departmental stores that are located in very historic and iconic monuments of Paris, like Galerie Lafayette or Printemps, which are experiences in themselves also when it comes to shopping. Now, getting to France, you all are experts here, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining this to you. But what's important is that Air France is our national carrier, and you also have several connections from the Gulf region that come to Paris very easily. Paris being an international hub with 3 international airports. What's also interesting is travel by rail. Now, France has the second largest rail network in Europe, and traveling by rail is a very cost effective and a very interesting experience, a very scenic ride, I would say. And the railway network in France connects you with several important hubs within France and also within Europe. So that's a great opportunity for travelers. And I think what's going to trend now post COVID is also a lot of self drive. So we're going to see through the presentation there are destinations that lend themselves perfectly for a self driving holiday. But self driving in France is very much possible and is a delightful journey, trust me. So now, when you've arrived in France, you may want to know where to stay. So you have anything from a two-star to a palatial property in France. And what's important to know is that France is involved in classification of hotels. So you can be rest assured of the best quality of services that are classified by Atout France. And now we're going to arrive in our first destination, that's Paris, which of course doesn't need any introduction. This vibrant city of lights can be discovered through its classic ways that I'm sure you all are very familiar with, the Seine River cruises, cruise companies like Bateau Mouche, Bateau Parisien, Bateau Bus, which is an interesting concept. If you know hop on, hop off buses, Bateau Bus is just like that on the Seine River. So a very interesting concept to explore. Yacht de Paris, which is, I would say, more for a luxury sort of an itinerary because they have smaller boats and more, so with lesser capacities. Whereas the bigger boats like Bateau Mouche can also be privatized for your events with Indian catering available. Then there are the cabarets, of course. There is the Louvre Museum, Sacré-Cœur, and not only one cabaret, but you have different cabarets like Moulin Rouge, Paradis Latin, Lido de Paris, or Crazy Horse, which are all different and distinct from each other. Um, so Moulin Rouge is the very classic one. Paradis Latin is a little more evolved, and and they have a new show as well. Lido de Paris, I feel, uses a lot of technology and advanced technology rather to make their shows interesting, even for kids. So, you know, this can be a family friendly cabaret if you ask me. And Crazy Horse is a very bold cabaret, very chic, and I think it is more appealing to the younger audience, if you ask me. Besides the classic ways of exploring, you also have some unusual ways of exploring the city, like the Bus. If you haven't tried this already, it's a great way to get acquainted with the monuments of the city while you are experiencing and relishing a gourmet French meal. So they serve a nice four-course French meal on the bus. That can be a lunch or even a dinner. You can also privatize these buses for bigger groups, but it's a great product for even FITs. They enjoy this a lot. There are the two CV rides, of course, for mainly the FITs, and they take you through the city. They also offer pick up and drop services with a glass of champagne and, you know, very customized and personalized experiences. And you also have something called the Musée Crevin, which is a wax museum, uh, uh, which is located in the heart of Paris city, very close to the Opera Garnier, if you know. This is something you can combine with a visit of Fragonard, which is a Musée du Parfum, also very close to Opera. And of course, a visit of the Galerie Lafayette. That is something you can plan as well while you are planning a visit to the Musée Crevin. We're going to see what we can do with kids. I mean, there are a lot of activities that you can look at for families, or, you know, all segments rather, in Paris, but I'm going to highlight a few of them here due to time constraints. So Disneyland Paris, you all are very familiar with this. It's just 35 or 40 minutes away from Paris with the regional train that takes you there. You have an aquarium de Paris, which is also called Cine Aqua, in the heart of Paris, very close to the Eiffel Tower, at the Trocadero. That is something also you can look at visiting. Choco Story, which is a museum for chocolates. I'm sure not only kids but even adults would be fascinated by this. I am for sure, and I would like to definitely visit this while I'm in Paris. And further, a few monuments that are a little outside of Paris. Of course, there is the legendary Palace of Versailles or Chateau de Versailles. You also have something called Chateau de Thoiry, which is a castle, which is also a zoo and a botanical garden, also a little towards the west of Paris. You have Zoo de Paris, which is in the heart of the city. There is a huge zoo in the 12th district of Paris. A lot of people didn't know about this, but well, now you know. And you have France Miniature that you see on your screens, which is again a very interesting place to visit, a little outside Paris though. It is a place that exhibits important monuments of France in miniature forms. So a very interesting place for kids and adults alike. Coming to more immersive experiences to get more, you know, indulging in the culture of a place, or more sensory experiences would be perfume making at Fragonard, which is I mentioned near the Opera Garnier. So you can make your own perfumes over here and take them home as a souvenir. You can also look at indulging in some croissant making, some macaroon making at the world-renowned culinary institute called the Cordon Bleu. Um, or you can also try wine tasting, and there are several options. One of them is Devinis Illustribus that can offer customized services based on, you know, the occasion that you're visiting for, and also simple meals can be offered here. There is also something called Au Chateau or the Bordeaux Tech in Paris that are amazing wine tasting places. And Dilettante is something that one must try for a champagne tasting in the city of Paris. You can also try visiting the Eiffel Tower, not just going there and climbing up, but going there and enjoying a nice French meal at the restaurant 58 Eiffel Tower or at the restaurant Jules Verne, which is also at the Eiffel Tower. So these are some offbeat experiences that you can look at while you're in Paris. And we're going to now move further to this amazing destination of Champagne, which is only at about 50 minutes from Paris and from CDG Airport, and I would say an hour from Paris city center by road. Uh, so Reims, basically Champagne is home to the most iconic beverage in the world, that is champagne. Champagne is a highly protected region in France, being the only region in the world that produces this bubbly. So Reims is the largest city in this region that can be visited. You have Reims is the city where 33 kings of France were coronated. Uh, so it is a very historic place for the French, and an important place in French history. Actually, you'll also find some very prestigious champagne houses located in Reims, like Ruinart or JH Mum. You may have heard of these places before. You can also explore the Champagne tourist route that provides about 5 exciting circuits within the region. And of course, you can try the pink biscuits here in the city of Reims while sipping your bubbly at a very nice champagne tasting place like the Perching Bar or C'est comme Champagne. Then you can go to Epernay, which is internationally known as the capital of Champagne, which is about 1 hour 15 minutes from Paris city and very close to Reims, of course. Now, Champagne has also these prestigious champagne houses like Moët Chandon, Mercier, Pierre Jouet, which offer visits of the cellars and also shopping, of course. But what's interesting is that there are also some very small, intimate, family owned businesses and champagne houses where the winemaker themselves will interact with you, called the Michel Gonnet or Leclerc Briand, which are amazing places to try out when you are in the Champagne region, apart from the luxurious chateau stays that you can experiment in some very boutique properties that you will find in the Champagne region. Now, coming to Troyes, which is also part of Champagne, it is a little more than 1.5 hours from Paris, but very close to Reims and Epernay. Now, Troyes has these amazing shopping outlets, MacArthur Glen Troyes and Max Avenue. So you can easily spend a day here shopping for your family. Now, here is sneak peek into Champagne. And moving now to Alsace, which is on the northeastern border of France. It is on the German border, and it's a picturesque region to visit. At only 1 hour 50 minutes from Paris is the city of Strasbourg, which has this Notre Dame Cathedral, which is a gem of Gothic art, and it also has an astronomical clock, which is very interesting to see. Strasbourg is also the European capital and is classified as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You can discover this beautiful district of Petite France by foot or on a bicycle or even by boat, which is a very interesting way to discover the city of Strasbourg. And the pier of Palais des Rohan, which is also in Strasbourg, was once home to Marie Antoinette. So really amazing place to visit, and can be easily combined with Paris and Champagne because they are all at very close proximity. What's also interesting in Alsace is, of course, the local cuisine. Alsatian food is to die for, and it really is very palatable for Indians. And Alsatian wines as well. They make some very fine wines, and they have a wine route that starts from this very pretty, charming town of Colmar that you see in the picture. It really is out of a postcard, right? I mean, you would all agree with me when I say this. And it is also famously known as Petite France. Now, Colmar has this amazing old town that can be visited by foot or also by boat rides. And you must also visit the Saint Martin College Church, apart from, of course, the Unterlinden Museum. Um, which is in Colmar. Very close to Colmar is also another city in Alsace region called Mulhouse, which you can see in the picture, has an automobile museum. Now, this museum features a lot of vintage car collection. You can privatize this place for your events, for a nice cocktail or a gala dinner, or you can simply even visit the automobile museum or the railway museum, which is also in the city of Mulhouse. And all of this is just at 2 or 2.5 hours from Paris. So literally, I wouldn't recommend a day trip over here, but you must definitely stay in this region, and you can easily spend 3 days in 4 days rather in the Alsace region, and then add over Champagne also to your itinerary uh, while you are visiting Paris and these north eastern cities of France. Next up is Burgundy or Bourgogne, which is a little to the south of Paris, about 1.5 hours. Dijon and Beaune are important cities over here, and in Dijon, the local mascot, which is an owl, will take you on a 22-stage trail of the city and introduce you to all the historic and the important cultural sites of Dijon. A very interesting way to discover the city by foot with kids. Making it a fun activity. You can also climb up the tower of Philippe Le Bon and admire the outstanding views of this charming town of Dijon. You must also not forget to visit My Mustard, which is a place where you can try mustard tasting, because Dijon produces some of the finest mustards of the world. Um, then coming to Beaune, which is not far from Dijon, it is um, it is a paradise for wine lovers. One, because the region of Burgundy produces some some of the finest and most elegant wines of France. So Beaune is the place to be. Hospice de Beaune is a 15th century monument that you see on your screen, which is very picturesque and definitely worth a visit. And you can also privatize this space for your events. And of course, you must not miss the local cuisine here in the region of Burgundy, and experiences around chateaus or wine estates that are offered in this region. We are then going to go to Lyon, which is at 2 hours from Paris with the TGV, the high-speed trains that ply within France and within Europe. Now, Lyon is where one will never go hungry, because it is the world capital of gastronomy. You must definitely visit the Cité Internationale de la Gastronomie, which is a place recently opened dedicated to food lovers and to food, basically. You also have some famous chefs of France that are from Lyon, like the great chef Paul Bocuse, who has created this very interesting concept of Les Halles de Lyon, uh, which is a huge space covered market for food. And you can think of maybe special cook-offs or cooking experiences around cooking while you are here in Lyon, apart from of course visiting the beautiful basilica of Notre Dame de Fourvière, which sits on the hills of Fourvière, as you can see in the picture. One can be very active and climb up to the basilica, or one can also choose to go there by a cable car to admire the spectacular views of Lyon city that you can see in the picture. Now, Lyon also celebrates something called Festival of Lights in the month of December every year, and the city is lit up, as you can see on your screen, every first week of December. Lyon is also known for its silk products, because in the past, silk weavers lived in Lyon, and you still have a lot of them living in the Croix Rouge district in Lyon, and they offer silk making silk weaving rather workshops in the city of Lyon as well. Now, another attraction here is Musée des Confluences that you must not miss, because it is a museum that exhibits the evolution of mankind. So it's really very interesting. And Lyon truly is a great destination and a gateway to the French Alps that we'll see next. So Alpe Mont Blanc and Chamonix Mont Blanc is what we're going to see, along with a few ski resorts. Like I said, Chamonix is reachable from Lyon, but it is also very close to Geneva, and only about 40 minutes at the most from Geneva by road. So Chamonix Mont Blanc is again something that must be included in every itinerary for France, with a visit to, of course, getting close to the highest summit in the Alps that is reachable by a cable car at the height of 3,842 meters. You also have very thrilling experiences at the top, like pas dans le vide. As you can see in the picture, it's literally translates into step into the void, and is truly a very thrilling experience for visitors. You can also explore the Mer de Glace, or Sea of Ice as they call it, which is the largest glacier in France, by taking this very scenic cogwheel train from Montanvert to get to Mer de Glace. There is also a museum for glaciers in Chamonix Mont Blanc, and an interesting concept indeed for kids as well as adults. Or indulge in some adventure activities like paragliding or river rafting or a luge alpine coaster. And what's also important to know is that when you are in the Alps, you don't necessarily need to know to ski. Okay, so um, you can you can be involved and participate in several non-ski activities like snowshoeing, or just a nocturnal trek in the snow while you're sipping your nice mulled red wine. Or you can also just admire the alpine region while relishing alpine cuisine, the fondue meal, of course. um, Voila. So the Alps also have great experiences to offer in their amazing, range of chalets and beautiful boutique hotels that they have.
Chamonix Mont Blanc Valley mirrors the nature that surrounds it. Mythical, authentic. Drawn towards the sky by its pinnacles and legendary peaks, Chamonix is the natural birthplace of incredible adventures. From the beginning, it is here that the pioneers embarked to conquer the summits. It is here that mountain history is written. Whether you are looking to challenge yourself or rejuvenate your soul, the Chamonix Mont Blanc Valley reinvents itself every day, inviting you to live your very own adventure. Open the way.
Every time I watch this video, it makes me want to go immediately to Chamonix Mont Blanc, but yes, someday for sure. And now coming to ski resorts in the Alps. So I'm going to talk about a few of them that are very keen on hosting Indian clients. So they work very well with Indian clients, and you can look at, in fact, combining a few of them like Chamonix Mont Blanc with Morzine Avoriaz, which are not very far from each other. If not, you can go direct to the Trois Vallées region, which includes the resorts of Meribel, Val Thorens, and Courchevel. Courchevel being a very upscale resort with very luxurious chalets and hotels, often frequented by celebrities around the world. You may spot one if you go. Val Thorens is a very kid-friendly ski resort. It is also it is located. It's the highest resort in the Alps at I think 2,300 meters, with amazing skiable area, of course, and also ski initiation lessons that can be provided for those who are interested in learning to ski in any of these ski resorts. Actually, there is also Les Deux Alpes, which is also very family friendly. You also have Val d'Isère that you can look at. So to know more about these resorts and more information about these, you can get in touch with us directly as well. And we're now going to move to the sunny side of France. Côte d'Azur, or the French Riviera, as you all know, is a stunning destination. Nice, of course, is a famous and a very well-known destination here, very easily reachable by train and by air as well. So you can visit the old town of Nice, of course, and just stroll around the Promenade des Anglais that stretches up to Bay des Anges. Or um, you also have something called the cyclopolitan in Nice, which are electric tricycles that can be used to discover the city. And what's interesting is that Nice International Airport is just 10 or 15 minutes away from the city center of Nice, which makes it very good for those who wouldn't want to spend a lot of time traveling or moving from one place to the other. And Nice also is a base, or can be a gateway to places like Aix or Saint-Jean-Cap-Ferrat in the Riviera, and also Monaco. You can also go to Cannes from Nice, which is only 40 minutes again, and visit Pelé Vineyards in Nice and attend the Nice Carnival, which takes place every year in the month of Feb. And then, like I said, visit the glamorous city of Cannes, with close association, of course, with the film festival of Cannes that takes place every year with Indian celebrities featuring there. You have, of course, the beautiful sandy beaches of Cannes that are private beaches to certain iconic hotels that are on the Croisette or the promenade that you can see on your screen. You can also visit the old port of Cannes and the old town called the Souquet. You can also go for a day excursion from Cannes to these Lera Islands that you can see on your screens, which are just 20 minutes off the coast of Cannes. Of course, try your luck at the casinos, and sailing in the Riviera is a great experience. And in particular, even self-drive is a great way to explore the French Riviera along the Corniche roads. Monaco, of course, you all are familiar with. The Principality of Monaco has a beautiful palace, a lot of casinos, and you also have the Monaco Grand Prix circuit that can be visited. And of course, these panoramic views of the French Riviera are stunning. So you can take helicopter rides from Monaco going to Nice, or Monaco going to Cannes, or vice versa, or going up to Saint-Tropez as well. Those options are great ways of getting spectacular views of the French Riviera. And now Provence, again, another sunny side neighbor of Côte d'Azur. Marseille is an important city here that is reachable by the high-speed train TGV in 3 hours and 30 minutes. You must visit the city of Marseille, of course, with the touristic trains, or by foot or by public transport. You also can visit the Calongs of Marseille, which are mainly inlets of Mediterranean Sea coming into Marseille, or take excursions to Chateau d'If or Frioul Islands just off the coast of the old port in Marseille. Museum is something you must visit, which is a museum for Mediterranean and European civilizations. And of course, the Basilica of Notre Dame de la Garde, which is on which is at the highest point of the city, gives phenomenal views of this charming city in the south of France. Um, Savon de Marseille is also known as soap of Marseille. That can be, a very nice experience. You can actually go and visit how this how soap of Marseille, the Savon de Marseille, is made, and also customize this with your own stamps on the soap and take them back home as a very nice souvenir of this region. Provençal food, also like ratatouille that you may have heard of, or bouillabaisse, which is a local specialty of Marseille, are great ways of exploring the culture and gastronomy of this region. And other parts in Provence that include Avignon, of course, which is the seat of which was the seat of the Pope and has the Pope's palace here, the Avignon Bridge. And Avignon also is a gateway to several beautiful places in Provence that offer experiences like the lavender fields, which is in the Luberon National Park, very close to Avignon, and you can easily spend a day here admiring the lavish lavenders, and of course also visiting lavender museum in this region. You can also set off for a day in Arles and follow the trail of the great artist Vincent van Gogh, where he painted a lot of his canvases, about 200 of them, and some of his phenomenal paintings are inspired, from the charming city of Arles. You can also visit Chateauneuf-du-Pape, which is home of some very amazing red wines. And of course, for adventure lovers, you must go to Gorge du Verdon, and you have everything from bungee jumping to kayaking available here. Do not miss, of course, the very chic upscale seaside resort of Saint Tropez for a very luxurious and relaxing holiday by visiting the Old Port, the Citadel, the museum, and of course, sailing here is also a great option. Again, self-drive itineraries for Provence are also really delightful experiences. And I'm going to come now to Bordeaux. Now in Bordeaux, which is just 2 hours from Paris, you will definitely be spoiled for choices. Now, let's uncork Bordeaux together. The Cité du Vin is the largest cultural center that's dedicated to, the living heritage of wine. So a very interesting place to visit, the Bordeaux Cathedral, of course. And around Bordeaux, what you can visit is one of the most legendary wine regions, Saint-Emilion, that are classified on the UNESCO World Heritage list of sites. Is also the vineyards of Medoc, which produce some fine red wines, and also the Arcachon Bay, which has this great Dune du Pilat, which stands at about 378 feet high. So Dune is the entrance actually of the Bassin of Arcachon. So these amazing experiences in Bordeaux await you, apart from the chateau stays and in luxury boutique hotels in the middle of wine estates that can make your stay amazing here in Bordeaux. Coming up now to the Castle Country, or the Loire Valley, Val de Loire. It is also only 2 hours from Paris. Loire Valley was once, the powerhouse of French royalty. You can make that from the pictures that you see on your screens, and is now home to about 22 chateaus, and some very fine white wines. Now over here, you can visit, of course, the City of Art and History tours, which can also serve as a base for you to be visiting several chateaus in the region. It is Chateau de Chambord that you can see on your screen. It awaits you for a royal rendezvous, literally. And the chateau is also twinned with our very own Udaipur city palace that most of us do not know, but it's really something great. Also, Chateau de Chenonceau is another. It's the most visited castle after the Palace of Versailles, and has a very special association with women who played a very important role in the history of the chateau. What's also interesting in the Loire Valley, and especially for those who like active holidays or adventure, uh, here is that one can go from one chateau to another. One can, follow a course or a signposted path in the Loire Valley. As you cycle around in the region, you can also, of course, enjoy and have these amazing panoramic discoveries of the Loire Valley with helicopter rides. And you must definitely try the wines that include Sancerre and Muscadet here in the Loire Valley, of course. Very palatable for Indians as well, and pairs well with Indian food as well. And then Normandy, which has an association with World War history. It definitely promises all its visitors with, an a la carte uh, collection of experiences. This is by far the only region in France that does not produce wine, but produces a lot of delicious cheese and also Calvados or apple cider. Now, Deauville is home to some very luxurious hotels, spas, and golf courses, race courses, and also has a world-class casino. That's a very charming city in the region, and it can also serve as a base to go to several other parts of the Loire Valley, like Lisieux, which is situated in the heart of Normandy. It is also midway between Paris and Mont Saint Michel. So it is home to Saint Teresa. The Basilica de Saint Therese is most visited in Normandy, and the monument of Mont Saint Michel is a medieval monastery atop a magical island. It's classified on the UNESCO World Heritage list of sites, and its bay is subject to some of the biggest tidal variations in this world. Quite an interesting sight to see when you are there in the Mont Saint Michel. Do not forget, of course, the city of Rouen, Le Havre, Honfleur, and also the cliffs of Etretat, and of course, Giverny, which is home to the great master Monet for many years. You must visit the Fondation Claude Monet for its beautiful water gardens and the famous water lilies, of course. And now, doing a tour of France, like an entire circle, we coming to northern France, which is just outside the city of lights, that is Paris. France's best kept secret truly is northern France. Lille is the capital of Hauts-de-France, or northern France, which is a very vibrant city with a lot of students, and it's a capital of design and has several microbreweries. And since it's at the northern tip of France, it is very well connected to different countries also in Europe. You also have in Amiens, Cathedral Notre Dame, and you have some floating gardens over here, and you have Chantilly, which is literally 35 minutes from Paris, and a perfect destination for all segments. There was an Indian wedding also hosted here in Chantilly. You can learn to make Chantilly cream over here, or indulge in some horse riding, visit the horse stables, and you also get Indian cuisine over here. Then there is Park Asterix, the very thrilling theme park that is also very close to Paris CDG, only 35 minutes or so. It also assures unlimited entertainment and is a perfect destination for all age groups. and through all segments. Also for mice, because there is accommodation available here at Park Asterix. And now we are going to come to Reunion Island, which is home to the highest peak in the Indian Ocean. It's one of the most active volcanoes on the planet, the Piton de la Fournaise. Now, whether it's on land, in water, or in the air, Reunion Island is truly a vast outdoor playground. It is reachable by air with Aerostral going from Chennai to San Denis in only 7 or 8 hours. You can also go to Reunion Island via Mauritius with Air Mauritius, of course. Um, What's in store for you here is, of course, one of the most active volcanoes in the world, Piton de la Fournaise. It can be visited on foot, by bike, or by segway. Because it's a shield volcano, it gently releases lava even at the time of an eruption. Therefore, it's very safe to see this volcano up close, or even better, it's taking a helicopter ride over the volcano to enjoy the glory of this of the Piton de la Fournaise. You can also, of course, indulge in scuba diving in the pristine waters of the lagoons here in Reunion Island. You can explore snorkeling. You can do kayaking in transparent boats, and privatize a yacht to admire sunsets, or even spot some dolphins and whales here in the Indian Ocean, some lava tunnel activities. And truly, Reunion Island is a promise to every active holiday seeker, and is truly an experiential destination. You must also not forget to try the local cuisine here, very palatable for Indians again. It's called Creole food. You will definitely enjoy this, and now I hope you enjoy Voilà, again, Mr. Tamas, you have chicken live now. You also have Biarritz, which is the Basque country near Bordeaux, and Brittany, a little to the north. West of France along the Atlantic Ocean. And
there is some connectivity issue. I guess your screen is not shared. If you could just check it once. Okay. Okay, Ms Shriya got disconnected due to some connectivity issues. I'm just getting in touch with her, and we'll get her back as soon as possible. Okay, she's back, I guess. Shriya, are you there? Hello, Shreya. Your voice is not audible. Hello. Hello, Shreya. Okay, so I guess Shreya got disconnected due to some connectivity issues. I am just getting in touch with her. Just give me a minute and we'll get this thing sorted.
Yeah. Can you hear me now, Tarang?
Yes, actually now I can hear you. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there, and
The voice is breaking a lot. I guess there is some connectivity issues.
yeah,
So your voice is
I'm
breaking.
just done.
Okay, are we at the end of the presentation? Because I'm seeing. Hello.
Yeah, are you able to hear me, Tarang?
Yes, now I'm able to hear you. I guess there is a lot of connectivity issue on your end, I guess. I just wanted to
Perhaps.
confirm that is the presentation, are we at the end, right?
Yes, yes, yes. It's pretty much done, and
Okay.
yeah, I've done the entire tour de France for you all,
Okay.
and I hope you've liked it. Over to
Great.
you now.
Definitely. So I just wanted to confirm that we were definitely at the end and we didn't stop just because the internet, there was some connectivity issues.
No, if you've heard me well till Reunion Island, yeah, that's pretty much the end of it. And then I spoke about a few other destinations that I did not go in depth, like Corsica, Biarritz, and Occitanie. But if
Okay.
you've heard that all, it's pretty much there.
Great. I guess we are then at the end of this presentation. Now it's the time that we'll start taking up some questions. We already have some questions from the YouTube channel. So it's for the audience that if you guys have any question related to the entire webinar, now is the time. Please start posting your question and we'll take up each and every question in very much detail. Right. So the first question that we have is just give me a minute. Yes, it's from Jasleen Kaur, and it's one of the most basic questions for any destination. But yes, it is something that we should discuss. What is the best time to visit France? Just give me a minute.
Okay, so to answer Jasleen and for all those who have the same question, I would say France is and lends itself as a all year round destination. You have definitely something to do in the summer. You have the ski resorts and the beautiful French Alps in the winter. But the Alps also can be accessible in the summer. Some of them like Chamonix, which is a great destination even for summer. So it can be throughout the year. Really, you'll get very different experiences in each of the seasons that you visit.
Okay. Okay. Before we, go on with the rest of the questions, actually, we just received a feedback that people were not able to hear about Corsica. So if you could just like explain a bit about it, and if
Sure.
possible, please share the screen as well because it will be much more easier for the audience to understand.
Okay, great. I'll do that. Okay, are you able to see the screen?
Yes. Yes, we are able to see the screen.
Okay, so I'm going back a little, and I'm really sorry about the technical glitch. I think I lost connection in the middle. But yeah, Corsica I was talking about is a stunning destination just off the coast of the south of France, very close from Marseille and Nice, about 170 kilometers off the coast. So ferry rides or even, by air, you can reach Corsica very easily. And of course, you have the this region very beautifully featured in the Bollywood blockbuster Tamasha. So I was saying that if you haven't watched this movie, you should watch it over the weekend and let me know how you like Corsica in the film, of course. And other than that, I was talking about Occitanie, which is in the southwest of France. Toulouse is the important city here, which is at 5 hours from Paris, and it can be a gateway to various other destinations in this region that is rich with heritage and UNESCO heritage sites like Lourdes or Carcassonne, which are just 1 hour or 2 hours away from Toulouse. And Toulouse itself is home to the famous Airbus factory. So, you can visit the Airbus factory um, and see how Airbus aircraft are manufactured here. So it's a great activity to indulge in Toulouse. And also Toulouse is very famous for student groups because you have a lot of educational activities here in the city of Toulouse and the surrounds. So that's a great place in south of France. And then there is of course Biarritz, which is Basque country on the border of Spain, very close to Bordeaux. It's a surfer's paradise and also a lot of sea and mineral therapies. So for a very nice, relaxing holiday for discerning clients, I would say. And also Brittany for discerning clients alike, which is by the coast of the Atlantic on the northwest of France, close to Normandy and the Loire Valley. So these were the other destinations I was talking about, apart from our territories outside of mainland of France. Those are in the Indian Ocean, like Reunion Island that I spoke about, and other islands that are in the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean, which are very much French, but they're just outside mainland France. So we would, if you have questions about these, you can write to us separately as well. And then I spoke about the e-learning program that we offer, and I hope that this presentation has also helped you a little with understanding France. And now you can very confidently sign up for these programs if you haven't already. I can share these links with you separately as well. um, Voila, that's about it. And you have more inspiring ideas, of course, of traveling to France whenever you can on our online portal, our website. And also to know more about French wines, you can visit our portal dedicated to wines. And follow us, of course, on social media for a lot more updates. And with that, with that, merci beaucoup. Thank you very much for your attention and your time. And merci again, TravClan, for this opportunity. So that's all from my end, Tarang.
Okay, so I guess we did skip some of the presentation due to the internet connectivity issue, right? But yes, luckily enough, we were able to complete it. Now let's just directly jump on to questions. We have a lot of questions coming in.
Okay.
So the first question, after the end of this presentation. If you could just elaborate on how many nights required for a first-time traveler, right? If someone is visiting France for the very first time, what's the minimum number of nights? What's the ideal itinerary, and that he should consider before traveling?
Okay. So there are variables to this because is the first time traveler willing to travel only in France? So I'm assuming it's that, and also um, what kind of activities do they really want to indulge in, because there's something to offer for all kinds of interest groups, So,
Right.
but for a first time, I would definitely recommend a 7 night itinerary in France that can very easily acquaint you with some of the finest destinations like Paris. Of course, you can also look at doing, depending on what you want to do, you can combine Paris with Provence and Riviera. the French Riviera, or you can, if you're more into wines or vineyards and countryside stays, you must look at the options that I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation. That's Paris, Champagne, and Bourgogne to do that. Or if you are more into history, you can look at Normandy and Loire Valley along with Paris. So easily a 7 nights, I would say, at least.
Okay, that answers the question pretty much. The next question that we have is coming in from RK Holidays, and they are asking that if we have elderly travelers, traveling with us, so do we have the facility for Hindi speaking guides, or for that matter, any other language as well, like the Indian native languages?
Okay.
Like, are the guides easily available, or do we need to, research about them in advance? So, if you could just shed some light on that.
Yeah, sure, sure. Thank you for your question. And yes, so we'll have to look into this bit particularly because until now there is a lot of requirement, of course, for English speaking guides, which are very easily available throughout France. But for Hindi, yes, we will have to make a request prior to booking, and we can definitely try and assist you with that whenever you have clients needing that for your travel.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Miss Priyank, Mr. Priyank is asking about, what are the safety measures that France is basically looking after this COVID situation, because the entire travel industry has been shattered because of this, and the travelers are also worried after this phase. So what are some of the safety measures that Atout France probably, or the France Tourism Development Authority, is taking in this respect?
Sure. So, to be very honest, it would be a bit premature to say and talk about what safety measures already, because we are also like India in the midst of fighting the virus right now. But yes, France is already working on developing safety measures, which is very critical, as we all know, moving forward. When COVID is behind us. But yes, you will definitely be notified of whatever safety measures and norms that will be in place eventually. But as of now, we do not have any communication as such.
Okay. Okay. The next question is coming in from Miss Monica, and she's asking about, how much a budget accommodation costs in a France. So basically, budget accommodation options for budget category travelers.
Okay, that's a good question, and it will depend on the season of travel. So if you are traveling in the peak summer, European summer, uh, you will. It depends what your budget is also, and there are options, of course, like I mentioned through the presentation, starting from a 2 star. You also have apart hotels, that are available in France, maybe at budget prices. But it really depends on what season you have, and me being, Atout France being a national tourism board, it is beyond our purview to provide something like accurate rates to you. But what we can do is we can put you in touch with the right people who can provide you with budget accommodation options in France. That's something we can definitely help you with. I hope
Okay.
that answers your question.
Yes. What is the visa procedure for France, and do we? So basically, the visa procedure for France, and do we need a separate visa for Reunion Islands? I hope not. Do we?
Okay, so is it in general France, or is it post-COVID that you're asking? Because that is something I cannot comment about. But if it was
I guess
pre-COVID,
it's generally like general France only.
so you need a France Schengen visa to travel to France. You have to apply for a tourist visa with via VFS maybe, or a visa facilitation service uh, to the embassy or the consulate, depending on which city you want to travel from. Um, and you can apply for the visa with the documents that are required. and then it's up to the French authorities and the consular services. But for Reunion Island, until now, what's interesting is that for a stay of up to 15 days, you can avail of a visa on arrival sorts, because but you need a visa voucher. You need to procure it from a local DMC that you're booking your travel with. They will provide you with a visa voucher to travel to Reunion Island. You can carry that voucher and travel, and you will be granted visa on arrival at immigration. So that's how it works for Reunion Island.
Okay. Okay. Uh, and how many nights ideally for Reunion Island only, since we are talking about it? So what's the like the minimum nights, or how many nights, and what's the average cost?
Okay, so about the stay, it's a highly experiential destination. You must have seen and got a glimpse from the video, and also the activities
Yes.
that and experiences that the destination
Mm.
has to offer. So you will be surprised, but you have around 50 experiences that can be, consider while you're traveling to Reunion Island. So a 7 day itinerary, and also based on the flights, you can easily look at a 7 day complete itinerary in Reunion Island for sure.
Okay.
And about the budget, also that again a DMC will be an expert to help you with the budget, really for Reunion Island.
Okay. Okay. The next question that we have is related to the transportation, and what kind of transportation do you suggest, right? Whether self-drive is a good option, or should we look out for, public transport? Like, what type of transportation do you suggest?
Oops, sorry, I think I just.
Okay.
Yeah, so about transportation, it's like I mentioned in the presentation, traveling by rail is a very cost effective and a very amazing experience, but it depends on what your clients are also comfortable with. And I think post COVID, self drive is what's going to trend a lot. Self driving, of course, is also pretty seamless in France, very easy. And you saw a few destinations. Well, most destinations are, of course, reachable by road, and they are really amazing journeys by road. So self drive definitely recommend. But of course, for a more cost effective option, you should look at the rail network, which is again really, really convenient, connecting important hubs within France and within Europe as well. So that's again an interesting option to look at.
Okay. Okay. I guess that's pretty much it. And one last question, and this is a question from my side. If you have to list out just three things, and what should be the USP for France as a destination, what will be those three things? So it's just a question that I have.
Okay, Tarang, that's a very difficult question, I must say, because I don't know how to sort of condense the top three for France, because I personally love France. I can go on and on about it, but yeah, to say, I think champagne is something that one must look at because it's
Okay.
very exclusive to France, as you saw. And of course, the beautiful coastal region of France in the south of France, Provence, the Riviera. It's really high on culture and cuisine as well. So, you get to try something really offbeat, and also it's very countryside and not very crowded, so that really gives you and takes you to the back roads of France, for
Right.
that matter. And Paris, of course, is a great attraction for everyone. It's unmissable, so to say. Yeah, that's something you can surely look at while
Okay.
for the top three in France.
Okay. Thank you so much, Shreya. That was a very interesting answer, and definitely an even more interesting presentation that you had for all of us. Now is the time to actually skip on to the interesting part, that is the quiz. Now we've all, we've witnessed the entire presentation very, deeply, and now is the time to answer some of the questions. So the quiz will be live now. Now is the time you can just, there is a button given below, and there is a link circulated in the YouTube stream link as well. You can just start off by answering all those questions, and the top three lucky winners will get TravClan freebies and the winners will be announced at the end of the webinar. So now is the time. Now the quiz will be open only for 5 minutes. So it's time that you, all of you, can just answer those questions. And all the other viewers, if you have any other question left for Shriya here, then she is here to answer those questions as well. So if there are any more questions, you can post your question as go and answer the quiz right now. The quiz is open. So yes, we have a couple of more questions. I think it's time that we should, discuss about MICE travel, right? So basically, they are. The question is about, what are some of the MICE destinations as well as the wedding destinations, probably. We talked about a couple of wedding destinations in the presentation, right? But yes, somewhat about the MICE groups, probably the official events. So if you could just elaborate a bit upon that.
Sure. So Paris, in regards with MICE, has been always the favorite, and it is, I think, amongst the top 3 destinations in the world, also for MICE. So you have tourists from all over the globe coming, especially for incentives and events and conferences. But if you want to look for something outside of Paris, which I would recommend you can also do, is places like Chantilly, which positions itself amazingly well for a MICE destination. You can also combine Park Asterix with it that I spoke about, which is also great and has perfect infrastructure for MICE. Also, Chantilly is a destination for weddings. They have hosted Indian weddings in the past, so that's a great opportunity. Apart from Chantilly, of course, you can look for a group size of about 300 people. You can look at Champagne as well, or you can come even south to Lyon, which has again amazing facilities for incentives and lot of team building activity opportunities and interesting concepts to explore while you are on a MICE itinerary.
Okay.
And there is, of course, the Provence and the Riviera. Cannes being a favorite destination for weddings as well, having hosted Indian weddings in the past. So these are a few destinations that you can look at. Deauville again is great for very niche groups. Also, Indian catering is available there, so that's an advantage. Um, yeah, so I would say these destinations you can focus on for MICE. Also, Chamonix Mont Blanc is something you can look at for MICE. And for weddings, you can look at the Loire Valley as well for some nice chateau setting. And also northern France, actually, it is great for weddings as well.
Okay. Okay, so is France a popular destination for field trips for basically student groups to travel to the destination for industrial visits and everything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are. And interestingly, France is also a host to several cultural exchange programs that take place mainly in the summer or throughout the year related to language or even the culture in general. So, that's very interesting. And yes, like I mentioned, even in the presentation, Paris is an excellent destination for student groups, but there is also Toulouse that you can explore for field trips, and Lyon as well for the gastronomy there, which is a great aspect, even for culinary institutes, to take their students for. And you can have very different theme-based travel in these cities. Like Paris can be a fashion or, a culinary. Educative program. Then Toulouse, like I said, with the visit of the Airbus factory and all of that, can be more towards scientific experiences. So yeah, there are these destinations that you can look at for field trips for students. And for those who are interested in adventure, there is Chamonix. They will definitely enjoy Chamonix, and the ski resorts for ski initiation programs, which are again very interesting ways and options for a field trip.
Okay, okay. One last question that we have over here is related to women travel, because recently, a lot of companies, specific organization have been, starting up this new initiative of, women travel. So, do we have any incentives for probably, for that kind of an audience, that kind of a group? So, do we have any, what do you say, any incentives or offers or anything in general, like from Atout France itself?
Okay. So again, for women travelers, yes, it's you have multiple options here. You can have travel around fashion, you can have travel around wellness, which can be very interesting for female groups, and for that matter, Normandy and Deauville can be a great destination. Or you can also have Bordeaux and combine it with Biarritz and south of France, that is Occitanie, for female travelers. There are definitely wonderful itineraries that we can form based on what really their interests are, and we can look into this separately as well. um, uh, yeah, so that these destinations can be offered for female groups. When it comes to incentives per se from tourism boards, as a protocol, we do not have that facility, and it's the rule same globally for all global markets. But we can assist with all other services that you, of course, that you may have.
Okay. Okay. This has been really great. I guess we answered all of the question, and people have been submitting and participating in the quiz very excitingly. So now is the time that I play a small video for everyone here. And in the meantime, we'll calculate the results for the quiz, and the results will be live after this short video. So here is a short video coming up about the TravClan powered website for each one present here. Thank you. Okay, so that was a very small 30-second video about the TravClan powered website that we are offering. It is basically a website and a CRM solution for all the travel agents working pan India, right? And we are offering this service on a free trial till 30th September. If any of the agents are interested, the link for the same will be in the comment section. This has been great. We are calculating the result, and thank you so much, Shreya, for this interesting presentation. And thank you so much, each and every audience here who have been such enthusiastic about asking all those questions. I hope you were able to explain everything you have about France, right, Shreya?
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I hope you all have had insights and I've answered all the questions that you have. If not, you can write to me also directly. Um, and all of us at Atout France would be very glad to assist you in the best way possible. And I would again like to thank, of course, Mr. Ramanpreet Singh uh, for initiating this and also giving us this opportunity. And thank you, Tarang, also for
Welcome.
coordinating all of this. And yeah, I guess with that, they never say goodbye in French. We always say au revoir. So, that's what I'm going to say now, which means until we meet again. So we're going to leave you with that, on that note, and hope to meet you again once COVID is behind us, of course.
Definitely. Okay, so we have the winners with us. The top three winners for the France destination quiz are the first position goes to Mr. Madhura Manchekar. The second position goes to Miss Meenal Joshi, and third position goes to Miss Mitali. Congratulations to all the winners, and we'll get in touch with you soon after this webinar ends, and we'll uh, get you your travel agent website as soon as possible, which is completely free for the first position, that is Mr. Madhura Manchekar, for next 2 years. That's all from our side. Thank you, Shreya, for this lovely presentation. I hope you felt the same, and thank you, audience, for being such a sport. That's it from our end. That is Tarang Mohin signing off. Bye bye.